I think there is a lot of issues with mental health in the creative industry because obviously the creative industry isn't a very stable job compared to more like maths jobs and like engineering and stuff like that. And I feel like with creative, because it's unstable, that could like cause you to worry and have anxiety about, okay, if I don't do this, how am I going to get the bills paid? I'm not really finding work right now, how am I going to do this? And also with unsupportive parents, like especially like African parents, they might not be as supportive because they want their children to be doctors, they want their children to be lawyers.
High expectations.
Exactly, and if you have like a creative job and you tell your mom like, I want to be an artist, compared to their dreams of you to be a doctor, they can be very unsupportive. That could also cause you to have like mental health issues and strains with your family. Now you feel like there's no one to talk to if you're going through problems, if you're going through like issues about, okay, how am I supposed to do this? I have no one supporting me.
Yeah, I also feel like because there isn't a set path to get to your goal in the creative industry, it gives people like there's an uncertainty about it, like you said, and a lot of people, when you say you want to do something creative, they usually shut it down because they're thinking, how are you going to get there in the first place? Do you know what I mean? Like if I wanted to be a doctor, I'd know the paths and steps that I need to. There's actually like a set out plan. There's protocol I could follow to get there. But with being a top fashion designer, you just have to, or like a musician, you have to just know people and put yourself in creative. Not everybody knows how to even do that, right. So it's just a bit.
Nate, any thoughts?
There's so many no's that you can get in this industry, and in terms of it affecting your mental health, I feel like it's a case where you get to a point where you get so many no's, you kind of just sit and dwell and you kind of wonder, what am I even fighting for? Like, what am I even going to all these auditions for? What am I even at college or university even studying for? You kind of just lose hindsight of why you started, what you started in the first place, and it kind of affects your mental health because it's like, you're like, oh, what's my next step then if this doesn't work out? Because there's such a high chance it doesn't work out. Like, you can have so much talent, but it's not just down to that. Like, yeah.
I think leading into that, how are people supported within the industry, like getting outward support and maybe inward support even?
I think it depends on if you want the support in the first place, because I think having problems with your mental health can be a powerful place to draw from, especially if you dance or sing or act or anything. And it's like, if you're seeing that it's creating this amazing output, it's like, oh, do I even want to get help? Because it's bringing all this like positive outcomes. So it's like, okay, let's say if I have depression and it's like, okay, I'm writing music and the music is good and people are listening to music and it's bringing back money, and then it's like, okay, since it's brought me this or it's brought me this, positive result, then do I really want to go for therapy? Do I really want to get this handled? Do I want to take care of this? So I think that's why, it can be like, are you getting the support you need in the industry? Because like, do you want to get supported in the first place?
I agree, but I feel like that could also be very dangerous because for me personally, I feel like I put things off a lot, but that's because I feel that's because I like the pressure. Like when I have to do it in a short amount of time, I feel like that motivates me. But then that also gives me a lot of anxiety. Like, am I going to get this done in time?
Right.
And especially with like, for example, fashion. If things don't work out, like for example, I'm sewing something and the fabric rips, and I'm like, okay, now I have to go buy a new fabric to replace this, and this isn't going well. I feel like that gives me a lot of anxiety. But again, the pressure is what motivates me. But sometimes the anxiety does get a bit too much, and it's like, okay, I might want to seek help for this, even though it does motivate me. I feel like it's also really bad for my mental health because the anxiety is literally just sitting with me, it's joining me. Even after I submit the work in, I'm still very anxious about, oh, I should have given myself more time, I should have done this, but I should have. And I feel like if I had set the time aside to do it a lot earlier, or if I had prioritized myself and been like, okay, normally you get anxiety when you do this, do it a lot earlier. I know the pressure is what drives you, but you should also find other things that motivate you and other things that drive you to do what you're supposed to do in the first place.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that, like support within the creative industry, I think it's there, but I think it is there for show. Because like, for example, like in drama schools, they will say, oh yeah, we've got this, talk about your mental health, this and that other, but it's actually very cutthroat because they're trying to prepare you for how the real industry is going to be like, which is a shame because like, obviously it'd be ideal if, everybody can get all the support they need and this and that other, but if you're going to be a creative person, there's a chance you're going to be in the public eye, and being in the public eye means that no matter how much support people give you, there's always going to be someone who doesn't like it because you cannot please everybody. Right. So because you cannot please everybody, I think it's just hard, you know. And I just think it's just something you need to work with yourself, like building resilience, building, you know, a stronger mental, and that starts from when you're training and preparing in the first place. I feel like some environments in drama schools are not really good for people, because they need to understand that they're young adults just starting out. But I see both sides of it, but yeah, I just think it's unfortunate. But
I also think mental health should be taken a lot seriously with creatives. Like, I feel like, especially in media, like when an artist goes off the handles, like as they put it, or if like they have like a mental breakdown, it's good media coverage, and they're like taking pictures and they're posting, oh, Kanye West has gone crazy, Britney Spears has just shaved her head. But I feel like it's something you need to take seriously. Like, instead of like looking at this person and making like TikToks and videos and posting, this guy's crazy, I feel like you should like put yourself in their shoes and be like, this guy's clearly going through something. You should be a lot more supportive, regardless of what this guy's done. He's still a human being. He deserves to be treated like one. Especially as a creative, they say like your mind kind of like works differently. So I feel like it's going to be a lot harder to balance being an artist and like prioritizing your mental health, because maybe your mental health is what drives you, but at the same time you have to prioritize it. And the way media is, it's like they make fun of you for having a mental breakdown or going through what you're going through. And I feel like we need to be a lot more sensitive. And I feel like rejection as well, because Nate said this earlier, and I agree, but I have like a way to something that I do to get me through a lot of rejections. Nate says that he feels discouraged like when he gets rejected a lot, but for me, I just think, I don't know, I think rejection is what fuels me, because I'm like, okay, I've been rejected a lot, like is there something wrong with my technique? Like, it causes me to doubt and have anxiety, but at the same time I'm like, okay, maybe it is my technique, maybe there's still a lot of things that I can learn to push me. I feel like that, I don't know, I think it fuels me, because now it's like I have a point to prove, like I have a point to prove that I'm here, like I'm going to make it. Like now I have to learn different techniques, now I have to do workshops to find out what I'm struggling with and what I could do better and what could work for me, potentially.
Piggybacking off your point of rejection, last week I was dealing with a lot of rejection like in my group, and something I told myself like throughout, like whenever someone says no, like this isn't going to work or I don't think we can do it, like I told myself that the universe rejection is my divine protection, because it's like maybe it's not
beautiful.
Thank you. Maybe it's not meant for you, so it's also good to like analyze where the rejection is coming from, because if I give an idea and I've put so much work into it, and then the people who I'm working with, they're not like, they can't handle that idea, or it's like it's maybe a bit too complicated for them and they're not going to treat it with the respect it deserves, then it's like, why am I stressed about you rejecting my idea? That doesn't make sense. Like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Again, on that point of rejection, I think lately, personally for me, there can be points in time where I'm not sure like what I'm doing, or when I see that like rejection email, either I'd go back and just kind of see other opportunities out there for me. I feel like I've actually get a lot lately is this is not your time, or this certain opportunity isn't for you, but there is something better for you around the corner, and I do believe that 100%. I think certain things aren't for you, and that's okay, and I think it's, as a creative, it's smart to kind of go back, work on your skills, hone your craft, and come back and be the better version of yourself as a person and as an artist.
That's a good point. We didn't really cover a lot, but thank you everyone for your opinions, statements, had some beautiful phrases today. Yeah.